My dog went absolutely berserk at my daughter-in-law's dinner table. Knocked the plate right out of my hands. Food went everywhere. I was mortified, apologizing, trying to pull her away. Then Sadie ate what had spilled on the floor and collapsed. By the time we got her to the emergency vet, she was convulsing. Foam coming out of her mouth. The vet said she had minutes to live. That's when the doctor told me something that made my blood run cold. Your dog just saved your life. The food on that plate? It contained enough poison to kill a person my size. And my daughter-in-law had served it to me with a smile. But here's what I didn't understand. Why? Why would Amanda want me dead? It took me a week to find out. And when I did, I realized she wasn't going to stop trying. What you're about to hear is the story of how I survived 3 murder attempts, how my rescue dog became my guardian angel, and how I finally turned the tables. Before we continue, please leave a comment telling us where you're watching from and subscribe to Never Too Old channel. We're creating a community of incredible people who know that our best chapters can happen at any age. Now, back to the story. The shelter smelled like disinfectant and wet dog. I stood in front of the kennel, third one on the left, watching the German Shepherd mix watch me back. She didn't bark, didn't jump at the chain link like the others, just sat there, gray around the muzzle, one ear flopped over. That's Sadie, the volunteer said. She was young, maybe 20, with a name tag that said Jenna. She's 9, been here 3 months. 3 months, same as me since Leonard died. Why so long? I asked. Jenna looked at her clipboard. People want puppies. Or younger dogs at least. Sadie's been returned twice. First family said she was too anxious. Second said she was too old, not active enough for their kids. I looked at Sadie again. She tilted her head, kept her eyes on mine. Can I meet her? They brought her to one of those little rooms with the plastic chairs and the toys nobody ever plays with. Sadie walked in slow, sniffed the corners, then came and sat right in front of me. Put her head on my knee. That was it. I signed the papers an hour later. The house felt different with her in it. Still quiet, but not the same kind of quiet. Leonard's chair was still empty. The coffee mug he'd used every morning was still in the cabinet, white with a chip on the handle. But Sadie's bowl was by the back door now. Her bed was in the corner of the living room. She followed me from room to room, nails clicking on the hardwood. Danny called that first week. Mom, you sure about this? A dog's a lot of work. I'm 67, not 90. I know, I just mean. I can handle a dog, Danny. Silence on the other end. Okay, good. That's good. He hadn't visited much since Leonard's funeral, if I was being honest. Always something. Work was busy. Amanda wasn't feeling well. They had plans with her family. I stopped asking after a while. Amanda, my daughter-in-law for 6 years now. Polite at family dinners, smiled at the right times, but there was something missing. Warmth. Maybe? Leonard used to say I was imagining it, that Amanda was just quiet, reserved up, but I caught her looking at me sometimes when she thought I wasn't paying attention, calculating, like she was doing math in her head. I tried not to think about it. Danny loved her. That was supposed to be enough. Sadie and I fell into a rhythm. Morning walks around the block, past the Hendersons' house with the overgrown lawn, past the bus stop where teenagers kicked rocks while they waited, afternoon naps on the couch, evenings in the backyard, me with a book, her with a stick. She never left my side. If I went to the bathroom, she waited outside the door. If I worked in the garden, she laid in the shade and watched. At night she slept next to the bed, close enough that I could reach down and touch her head. Good girl, I'd say, and her tail would thump against the floor. 2 months went by like that. Quiet, simple. I stopped expecting Danny to call as often. Stopped waiting for visits that never came. Then, on a Tuesday afternoon in October, my phone rang. I was folding laundry, matching Leonard's old socks that I still couldn't bring myself to throw away. Bea, hi, it's Amanda. I set down the sock. Amanda never called. Danny called and Amanda was sometimes in the background, but Amanda herself, never. Oh, hi Amanda, everything okay? Yes, everything's fine. Her voice was bright, too bright, like someone trying to sell something. I was just thinking we haven't seen you in forever. I feel terrible about that. I didn't say anything, waited. We've been so busy, you know how it is, but I was thinking maybe we could have you over for dinner. This Friday? Nothing fancy, just the three of us. I looked down at Sadie. She was lying at my feet, chin on her paws, watching me. That sounds nice, I said. Great. Perfect. Come around 6, and bring Sadie if you want. I'd love to meet her. Danny's told me so much about her. That was a lie. Danny had barely asked about Sadie since I got her. But I let it go. Okay. 6 o'clock Friday. Wonderful. See you then. She hung up. I stood there holding the phone, staring at the pile of unfolded laundry. Sadie got up, came over, pressed her nose into my hand. That was strange, wasn't it? Her tail wagged once, slow. The rest of the week dragged. I kept thinking about the call, about Amanda's voice, that brightness that didn't sound real. Thursday evening I pulled clothes out of my closet. Put them back, pulled out different ones. Settled on the green shirt Danny had bought me for my birthday 2 years ago. The tags were still on it. Friday morning I woke up early, made coffee, gave Sadie breakfast. She ate slow, kept looking at me between bites. It's just dinner, I told her. She tilted her head. I spent the afternoon cleaning the house even though nobody was coming over. Vacuumed, dusted, scrubbed the kitchen sink until it shined. At 4 o'clock I gave Sadie a bath in the utility sink. She stood patient while I worked the soap through her fur. Rinsed her clean. We're going to see Danny, I said. You'll like Danny. By 5 I was dressed, hair brushed, a little lipstick that I wiped mostly off because it felt like too much. 5:30, I stood at the door with my purse and Sadie's leash. She sat beside me looking up at my face. Ready? Her tail thumped once against the floor. I opened the door, we walked to the car together. She jumped into the passenger seat like she'd been doing it her whole life. I started the engine, backed out of the driveway. For the first time in months I was going to see my son. Going to have dinner with my family. Amanda had reached out, invited me, wanted me there. Maybe things were finally changing. Maybe I'd been wrong about her all along. I turned onto Cedar Avenue, heading west toward Danny's house. Sadie sat quiet beside me watching the road. Danny's subdivision looked the same as always. Rows of identical houses, 2-car garages, lawns cut to the same height. I pulled into the driveway behind Amanda's silver sedan at 6 on the dot. Sadie stood up in the passenger seat, looked out the window. Come on, girl. The front door opened before I got halfway up the walk. Amanda stood there in jeans and a cream sweater, hair pulled back, smiling. Bea, perfect timing, come in. I walked up the steps with Sadie beside me. The house smelled like roasted chicken and garlic, candles burning somewhere. Amanda looked down at Sadie, and this is the famous Sadie. She reached out her hand. Sadie moved behind my legs. She's shy with new people, I said. That's okay. Amanda stepped back. Danny's finishing up in the kitchen. Can I get you some wine? Sure, white if you have it. The living room was spotless, throw pillows arranged just so. Not a magazine out of place. I followed Amanda to the dining room. The table was set with cloth napkins and the good china I'd given them as a wedding gift. Danny came through the kitchen doorway, apron on, face flushed from the heat. When he saw me, he smiled. Mom. He crossed the room and hugged me, held on a second longer than usual. You look good, I said. Thanks. You too. He pulled back, looked down. This is Sadie? This is her. He crouched down. Sadie sniffed his hand. Let him scratch behind her ears. Her tail wagged. She's beautiful, I'm glad you got her. Amanda came back with a wine glass, handed it to me, filled almost to the rim. Dinner's ready whenever you are, Danny said. Just need to pull the chicken out. I'll help, Amanda said. They disappeared into the kitchen together. I sat down at the table. Sadie laid down next to my chair, chin on her paws. I could hear Danny and Amanda talking in the kitchen. Low voices, a laugh. They came back carrying dishes. Roasted chicken with herbs. Green beans. Potatoes. A basket of bread that steamed when Amanda set it down. This looks wonderful, I said. Amanda did most of it, Danny said. I just tried not to burn anything. Amanda waved him off. He's being modest. We served ourselves family style, passing dishes around. Amanda kept my wine glass full. Asked about the garden, about my book club. I told them about Mrs. Patterson down the street, who'd fallen and broken her hip. That's terrible, Amanda said. Is she okay? She will be. Her daughter moved in to help. Danny talked about his work project. Something with servers and deadlines. Amanda nodded along, touched his arm while he spoke. It felt normal. Easy. I'm so glad we did this, Amanda said. She looked at me. We should make it a regular thing. Family dinners. Danny squeezed her hand. We finished eating. Danny started to clear plates. Wait, Amanda said. I made dessert. Apple pie. You didn't have to do that, I said. I wanted to. She stood up. Just give me 1 minute. She went to the kitchen, came back with a pie on a white ceramic plate. The crust was golden brown, sugar crystals on top. She cut 3 slices, put them on small plates. She set one in front of Danny, one in front of herself. Then she brought mine over, set it down carefully. Amanda picked up her fork, took a bite and said, "Turned out good." Danny did the same, nodded. I looked down at my plate. The pie was still warm. I could smell cinnamon and butter. I picked up my fork. Sadie's head came up. She stood, fast, stiff. "Sadie, lay down," I said. She didn't listen. She pushed herself between me and the table, made a sound low in her throat. "What's wrong with her?" Danny asked. "I don't know." I put my hand on her back. "Sadie, it's okay." She whined, pushed harder against the table. "Maybe she smells the food," Amanda said. I tried to move Sadie back. She wouldn't budge. I reached for my fork again. Sadie lunged. Her paw hit my arm. The fork flew out of my hand. My plate tilted, slid across the table. "Sadie, no." I grabbed for the plate. Missed. It went over the edge. Hit the floor. Ceramic cracked. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I pushed my chair back. Pieces of pie and broken plates scattered across Amanda's rug. Sadie was already down there, eating, frantic. "Sadie, stop." I got down on my knees, grabbed her collar. She fought me, kept eating, gulping down chunks of pie. Danny was beside me. "Mom, what the hell?" I finally got her away from the mess. She was panting, wild-eyed. Amanda stood by her chair. Her face was pale. "It's fine," she said. "It's just a plate." "I'll pay for it," I said. "I'm so sorry." Sadie's legs buckled. She went down, hit the floor hard on her side. "Sadie." Her legs started jerking, sharp, violent movements. Foam appeared at the corner of her mouth. I dropped to the floor beside her. "Something's wrong. Danny, something's wrong." He knelt down next to me. "What's happening?" "I don't know." I put my hands on her side. Her heart was racing. "Call a vet. Call now." Danny ran for his phone. Amanda stood frozen. "Amanda, get a towel." My voice came out too loud. She blinked, turned, walked toward the hallway. Sadie's whole body convulsed. Her eyes rolled back. "Hold on, baby, please hold on." Danny was back. "There's an emergency vet on Riverside Drive. 10 minutes. We have to go now." We carried her to Danny's truck. I climbed in back with her, cradled her head in my lap. Danny drove fast, ran a stop sign. The seizures were slowing. Sadie went limp. I put my hand near her nose, felt almost nothing. "Is she breathing?" Danny asked. "Barely." The emergency clinic was a low brick building with bright lights. Danny pulled up to the entrance. I got out, pulling Sadie with me. A woman in scrubs saw us and ran over. "What happened?" She ate food off the floor and collapsed. "Seizures." They lifted Sadie onto a gurney. Pushed through double doors. Gone. Danny put his arm around me. "Come sit down." The waiting room had plastic chairs. We sat. I stared at the closed doors. 40 minutes passed. The doors opened. A woman in green scrubs came out. "Family for Sadie?" We stood. "I'm Dr. Patel. Sadie's stable. We have her on IV fluids." "What happened to her?" Danny asked. "We're still running tests. It appears to be some kind of toxic ingestion, but I need more time to determine what. She'll need to stay overnight." I found my voice. "Can I speak with you privately?" Dr. Patel looked at me, nodded. "Of course." Danny stayed in the waiting room. Dr. Patel led me to a small office. "What did she eat?" Dr. Patel asked. "Apple pie, that my daughter-in-law made." Dr. Patel pulled up something on her computer, looked at the screen, then at me. "Mrs. Campbell, your dog ingested ethylene glycol, antifreeze, a significant amount." The room tilted. The concentration would have been lethal to a human your size. Your dog saved your life. I couldn't speak. I'm documenting everything. If you need these records, they'll be available. She handed me a card. Sadie's kidneys are stressed. The next 12 hours are critical. Don't tell my son, I said, about the antifreeze, please. Just say it's still uncertain. I need to figure some things out first. Dr. Patel studied my face. All right, but if you're in danger, I'll be careful. I went back to the waiting room. Danny stood. They're still running tests, I said. She needs to stay overnight. Jesus, poor Sadie. We drove back to his house in silence. Amanda opened the door, her eyes were red. How is she? They're not sure yet. She has to stay overnight. I'm so sorry, Bea, I feel terrible. I looked at her. It's not your fault. I got my purse, walked to my car, drove home through empty streets, sat at the kitchen table in the dark. Antifreeze in the pie. Amanda made that pie, served it to me, just to me. But maybe it was an accident. Contamination from something in her kitchen. A spill she didn't know about. Except she'd cut 3 slices. Served herself. Served Danny. They'd both picked up their forks. Only mine had poison in it. I put my head in my hands. Sadie had known. Before I even touched the fork, she'd known. And now she might die because she saved me. I sat there until the sky started to lighten, thinking about Amanda's face when the plate broke. How pale she'd gone, how still she'd stood. Maybe I was wrong. Or maybe my daughter-in-law had just tried to kill me. Sadie came home on Wednesday, 5 days after the dinner. 5 days of me calling the vet twice a day, asking the same questions. Is she eating? Can she walk? When can I bring her home? Dr. Patel brought her out herself. Sadie walked slow, thinner than before, but her tail wagged when she saw me. She's a fighter, Dr. Patel said. Keep her on the special food for 2 weeks, no treats, plenty of water. Follow-up appointment in 10 days. I knelt down. Sadie pressed her head against my chest. Thank you, I said to Dr. Patel. She looked at me for a long moment. Be careful, Mrs. Campbell. I nodded. Took Sadie home. The house felt right again with her in it. She spent most of the first day sleeping in her bed by the window, sunlight warming her fur. I sat nearby with a book I didn't read, watching her breathe. Danny called that evening. How's Sadie doing? Better, she came home today. That's great, Mom. Amanda's been asking about her. I gripped the phone tighter. Has she? Yeah, she feels terrible about what happened. Keeps saying she should have been more careful about cleaning her kitchen, in case something spilled or contaminated the food. So that was the story Amanda was telling. An accident. Contamination. These things happen, I said. She wants to make it up to you. Maybe have you over again. When Sadie's feeling better? My stomach turned. Maybe, we'll see. 4 days later, Amanda called. Saturday morning, I was giving Sadie her medication, pills wrapped in a bit of cheese. Hi, it's Amanda. I kept my voice light. Amanda, how are you? I'm okay, I've just been feeling so awful about what happened, about Sadie getting sick at our house. She paused. Danny said she's home now? Yes, since Wednesday. Oh, I'm so relieved. Listen, I know this might seem soon, but I'd really like to make it up to you. I was thinking maybe you could come over tomorrow, Sunday, just for a casual visit. No big dinner or anything. I made some fresh lemonade, we could sit in the backyard, just talk. I closed my eyes, felt Sadie's warmth against my leg. That sounds nice, I said. Really, you'd come? Of course, what time? How about 2? That way it's not a meal, just a visit. And please bring Sadie. I'd love to see her doing better. All right, 2 o'clock. Perfect, see you then, Bea. She hung up. I looked down at Sadie. She wants another chance, I said. We're going to give it to her. Sunday afternoon, I dressed in a yellow blouse and jeans. Tried to look relaxed. Normal, like I wasn't walking into a trap. Sadie waited by the door, leash in my hand. She was stronger now, almost back to herself. Stay close to me, I said. Watch everything. The drive to Danny and Amanda's took 20 minutes. The whole way my hands stayed tight on the wheel. Amanda opened the door before I knocked. Sundress and sandals, hair down around her shoulders. Smiling. Bae, thank you so much for coming. She looked down at Sadie, And look at you, sweet girl, you look so much better. Sadie moved behind my legs. Amanda's smile tightened at the edges. Come on back. Danny's inside watching the game. I followed her through the house. Danny was on the couch, remote in hand. He stood when he saw me. Mom, hey. He hugged me. Sadie looks good. She's getting there. Amanda touched my arm. Let's go sit outside. It's beautiful out. Danny, you want to join us? Nah, game's almost over. You two go ahead. Amanda led me through the kitchen to the back door. The yard was small, neat grass, a patio with a table and chairs. A pitcher of lemonade sat on the table, condensation running down the sides. 3 glasses beside it. Sit, Amanda said. I'll pour. I sat. Sadie laid down beside my chair, body pressed against my leg. Amanda filled 2 glasses, set one in front of me, sat down across from me with her own. This is nice, she said. Just us, no pressure. It is. I kept my hands in my lap. She took a sip of her lemonade. I really am sorry about what happened. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how Sadie got sick. The only thing I can think is maybe I didn't clean the counter well enough after cooking. Or maybe something in the dish soap. Maybe, I said. It's just so scary. If you had eaten more of that pie, she trailed off. Shook her head. I can't even think about it. I watched her face. The concern looked real, practiced. But everyone's okay now, I said. That's what matters. Exactly, she smiled. Pushed my glass closer to me. Drink. The lemonade came out perfect. I looked at the glass, ice cubes floating, little bits of pulp suspended in the yellow liquid. Thanks. I picked up the glass, brought it halfway to my lips. Sadie's head snapped up. She stood, body rigid, that same low sound in her throat. Sadie, it's okay, I said. She moved fast, pushed her nose against my hand. The one holding the glass. Sadie, no. She hit my arm with her shoulder. The glass tilted, lemonade sloshed. Sadie, Amanda's voice went sharp. Stop that. Sadie knocked harder. The glass flew out of my hand. Hit the patio, shattered. Lemonade spread across the concrete, glass glinting in the sun. Oh my God, Amanda said. She stood up fast, her chair scraped backward. That dog is out of control. I grabbed Sadie's collar, held her tight. I'm so sorry, I don't know what's wrong with her. She did the same thing at dinner. She needs training, Bia. This isn't normal behavior. I looked up at Amanda, her face was red, hands clenched at her sides. And then, just for a second, her expression changed. The concern dropped away. What was underneath was cold, hard, angry. Then it was gone. The concern was back. But I'd seen it. I'm really sorry, I said. I should go. She's clearly still not herself after being sick. No, it's fine, stay. I'll get you another glass. No, I stood up. Really, I should get her home. Let her rest. Amanda's jaw tightened. All right. If you think that's best. I moved toward the door. Sadie stayed glued to my side. Amanda followed us through the house. Danny was still on the couch. You leaving already, Mom? Sadie's a little agitated. I'm going to take her home. Oh, okay. Call me later. I will. Amanda walked me to the front door, opened it, her hand white-knuckled on the doorknob. Take care, Bia, she said. I looked at her. She looked back. We stood there for 3 seconds that felt like an hour. You too, Amanda. I walked to my car, got Sadie in the passenger seat, started the engine. Amanda stood in the doorway watching. She didn't wave. I backed out of the driveway, drove 2 blocks, pulled over on a side street. My hands were shaking. I gripped the steering wheel until they stopped. Sadie put her paw on my leg. It wasn't an accident, I said. The first time wasn't an accident. Sadie's tail thumped once. She just tried again. I sat there, engine running, staring at nothing. Amanda had poisoned that lemonade, the same way she'd poisoned the pie. And when Sadie stopped me from drinking it, Amanda's mask had slipped. Just for a second. That rage, that cold hard rage. She wasn't going to stop. She was going to keep trying until I was dead. And she thought I didn't know. Thought I was too stupid, too trusting, too old to see what was right in front of me. I looked at Sadie. She looked back at me. We need to find out why, I said. We need to know what she wants. I pulled back onto the street. Drove home. This time I wasn't going to sit at the kitchen table and wait. This time I was going to find out exactly who my daughter-in-law really was. Monday morning, I sat in my car outside a coffee shop on Birch Street. Amanda's silver sedan was parked 3 spaces down. I'd followed her from her house, stayed 2 cars back the whole way. She'd been inside for 20 minutes. I could see her through the window, sitting at a corner table with a man. Tall, dark hair, wearing a leather jacket. They sat close, his hand covered hers on the table. I took a photo with my phone, then another when he leaned in and kissed her cheek. They stayed another 10 minutes. When they left together, I waited, counted to 30, followed Amanda's car east across town. She pulled into an apartment complex off Riverside. Older building, peeling paint. A truck was already in the lot. I watched them go into a ground floor unit together. I sat there for an hour. They didn't come out. Tuesday, I followed her again. This time to a motel on the highway. The kind with hourly rates and no questions. Amanda's car, the same truck, both in the lot. Wednesday, I called my friend Carla. We'd taught together for 15 years before she retired. Her late husband had been a private investigator. Bea, everything okay? I need help with something. Can we meet? We met at her house that afternoon. I brought the photos on my phone, told her everything. The poisoned pie, the lemonade, Sadie saving my life twice, Amanda with this man. Carla listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. You're sure about this? Yes. And you didn't tell Danny? He wouldn't believe me. Not without proof. Carla nodded slowly. What do you need? I need to know who that man is, why Amanda's with him, what they're planning. I can't do surveillance myself anymore. Bad knees, but I still have contacts and I know how to run backgrounds. She looked at the photos. Can you send me these? Yes. Give me his license plate number if you see it again. And Amanda's full name, date of birth if you have it. I gave her everything I knew. This'll take a few days, Carla said. Be careful, Bea. If what you're saying is true, she's dangerous. I know. Thursday, I stayed home, waited, tried not to think about what Amanda might be planning next. Friday afternoon, Carla called. Can you come over? I was there in 15 minutes. Carla had papers spread across her dining room table. Printouts, photos, documents. His name is Kyle Brennan, age 41, contractor, divorced. She paused. Divorced from Amanda Frost, 8 years ago. The room tilted. They were married? For 3 years. She left him, according to the court records. No kids, clean split. Carla tapped another paper. But they reconnected 6 months ago. Credit card records show they've been meeting regularly. Motels, restaurants, his apartment. How did you get credit card records? I have a friend who has a friend. Don't ask. She showed me her phone. And look at these text messages. I looked at the screen. Text messages between Amanda and Kyle. Kyle had written, how much longer? Amanda's response, soon, can't rush it, has to look natural. Then Kyle again. We've been waiting 6 months. Amanda replied, after she's gone, everything goes to Danny. Inheritance, house, life insurance, then we split and I take half in the divorce. Kyle's next message asked, and if he fights it? Amanda's answer made my blood run cold. He won't, he's too weak. I couldn't breathe. There's more, Carla said quietly. They've been looking at property in Costa Rica. Small villa, cash purchase. They're planning to leave the country. I sat down, put my head in my hands. Bae, you need to go to the police. With what? Text messages you got illegally. Photos of them having an affair. That doesn't prove she poisoned me. What about the vet records? It proves Sadie ate antifreeze. Not that Amanda put it there. I looked up at Carla. And Danny won't believe me. He loves her. He'll think I'm jealous, paranoid, trying to ruin his marriage. So what are you going to do? I didn't answer right away. Sat there looking at the papers, the photos, the evidence that proved everything and nothing. I need Danny to see it himself, I said. I need Amanda to show him who she really is. That night I called Danny, kept my voice casual. Hey honey, how are you? Good mom, how's Sadie? She's great, almost back to normal. I paused. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about something. Can you come by tomorrow? Just you? Sure, everything okay? Everything's fine, just want to catch up. He came over Saturday morning. Sat at my kitchen table with coffee. Sadie laid at his feet. What's going on, Mom? I took a breath. I'm worried about Amanda. His face closed off immediately. What do you mean? I've seen her with another man, more than once. Danny set down his mug. Mom. I'm not making this up. I followed her to a coffee shop, to an apartment, to a motel. You followed her. He stood up. Mom, that's crazy, you can't just… Danny, please listen. No, you listen. His voice was hard. Harder than I'd ever heard it. Amanda told me you've been acting strange. Calling her at weird hours, asking strange questions. She said you accused her of poisoning Sadie on purpose. I never said that to her. She said you've been paranoid since Dad died, that you're having trouble letting me go, that you want to control my life. The words hit like a slap. That's not true. Isn't it? You hire someone to spy on my wife? You follow her around town? Mom, you need help. Maybe grief counseling, something. Danny. I have to go. He headed for the door, stopped, turned back. Amanda loves me. We're happy. I need you to respect that. And if you can't, then maybe we need some space. He left. The door closed behind him. I sat at the table. Sadie came over, put her head on my lap. Amanda had gotten to him first. Planted the seeds, made me look unstable. And Danny believed her. I picked up my phone, dialed Amanda's number. She answered on the second ring. Bea. Amanda, can we talk? Just the two of us? Silence. Then, of course, is everything okay? I want to apologize for what I said to Danny. I've been under a lot of stress. I wasn't thinking clearly. Oh, Bea. It's okay, I understand. Grief does strange things. I'm also calling about something else. I'm meeting with my lawyer next week. To update my will. I wanted you to know. Another pause. Your will? Yes, I've been thinking a lot lately about legacy, about what really matters. I kept my voice steady. I've decided to leave everything to animal rescue. The house, the savings, all of it. To establish a fund in Sadie's name. The silence stretched. That's very generous, Amanda said. Her voice sounded tight. I'm signing the papers Thursday. I wanted you and Danny to know, so there are no surprises later. I see. Would you like to come by before then? Maybe Monday. We could have tea, talk things over. I'd like to clear the air between us. Monday works. What time? 2 o'clock? I'll be there. We hung up. I sat very still. Monday afternoon, Amanda arrived at 2 on the dot. Flowered dress, smile that didn't reach her eyes, purse over her shoulder. Bea, thank you for inviting me. Come in. I led her to the kitchen. The kettle was already on. 2 cups on the table. Sit. I'll make the tea. Actually, Amanda said, could I use your bathroom first? Of course, down the hall. Amanda left. Purse still on her shoulder. I heard the bathroom door close. I poured hot water into both cups. Dropped tea bags in, set them on the table. Waited. Amanda came back 2 minutes later. Purse still with her. She set it on the counter by the door. Smiled, sat down. Milk or sugar? I asked. Just sugar. 2 spoons. I turned to get the sugar bowl from the counter. Heard the faint scrape of ceramic behind me. A soft clink. I turned back. Amanda's hands were folded in her lap. Both cups still steaming on the table. But the one in front of my chair was positioned differently. Slightly forward. She'd moved it while my back was turned. My heart hammered. She'd done it. I set the sugar bowl on the table. Sat down, looked at the 2 cups. The safe one in front of her. The poisoned one in front of me. I'm glad we're doing this, Amanda said. I hate feeling like there's tension between us. Me too. I stirred my tea. You know what would be perfect with this? The shortbread cookies my sister sent. They're in the pantry, top shelf in a red tin. Could you be a dear and grab them? My knees are acting up today. Amanda smiled. The picture of helpfulness. Of course, Bea, no problem at all. She stood and walked out of the kitchen toward the pantry in the hall. The moment she was out of sight, I moved fast. I picked up my safe cup and her poisoned one, and in one swift, silent motion switched their places. I was back in my chair, hands folded on the table, by the time she returned with the red tin. Here we are, she said, setting the cookies on the table. She sat down, completely unsuspecting. She looked at the cup in front of her. The one she thought was hers. The safe one. but now it was the poisoned one. She picked it up, took a drink. I watched her throat move as she swallowed. Once, twice. She set the cup down, half empty. So, she said, about this will change. Are you certain that's what you want? I'm certain. What about Danny? Don't you want him to have anything? Danny has his own life. He'll be fine. Amanda's jaw tightened. But the house alone is worth... She stopped, blinked. Worth what? I asked. I just mean, she put her hand to her stomach. Excuse me, I don't feel well. Maybe the tea's too hot. No, it's... She stood up, swayed, grabbed the table, something's wrong. I stood too, didn't move toward her. Amanda looked at me, and I watched understanding dawn on her face. Not because of a confrontation, but because she knew what she'd put in that cup, and now she could feel it working. What did you do? She whispered. I asked you to get cookies, I said. Her eyes went wide. She looked at the cup on the table, the one she'd just drunk from. She knew. She lunged for her purse on the counter, made it 2 steps before her legs gave out. She collapsed, hit the floor hard. I picked up the phone. Dialed 911. My daughter-in-law just collapsed in my kitchen. Please send an ambulance. The paramedics arrived in 6 minutes. 2 of them, a man and a woman, moving fast with their equipment. I stood by the kitchen door while they worked on Amanda. Checked her vitals. Asked me questions. What happened? We were having tea. She said she felt sick and collapsed. Any medical conditions you know of? I don't think so. You'd have to ask her husband. They loaded her onto a stretcher. She was conscious but barely, eyes half open, skin gray. They wheeled her out to the ambulance. Which hospital? I asked. Mercy General. I watched them drive away. Lights flashing, no sirens. I went back inside, called Danny. Mom, what's wrong? It's Amanda. She collapsed at my house. They just took her to Mercy General. What? Is she okay? I don't know, they're taking her to the emergency room. You should go. I'm leaving now. He hung up. I stood in my kitchen looking at the 2 teacups still on the table. The one Amanda had drunk from was half empty. The one I'd switched with it sat untouched. I picked up both cups, poured them down the sink, washed them thoroughly, put them in the dish rack. Then I sat down at the table and waited. Danny called an hour later. His voice was tight, confused. Mom, the doctors are asking questions. They think Amanda ingested something toxic. They're running tests. Toxic? Like what? They don't know yet, but they asked if she ate or drank anything at your house. We had tea, that's all. Did you have any cleaning supplies out? Anything she could have accidentally gotten into? No, nothing like that. They're saying it might be antifreeze, like what happened to Sadie. I didn't say anything. Mom? I'm here. This doesn't make sense. How would Amanda ingest the same thing that poisoned Sadie? I don't know, Danny. He was quiet for a long moment. I'll call you when I know more. 2 hours later he called again. She's stable. They pumped her stomach. Gave her something to counteract the poison. His voice was different now, harder. It was antifreeze, Mom, same as Sadie. That's terrible. The doctor said the concentration suggests it was in liquid she drank, not accidental exposure. Someone put it there deliberately. I waited. Mom, Amanda had her purse with her when she came to your house. Right? Yes. Did she take it to the bathroom? Yes. The police found a small bottle in her purse. Ethylene glycol, antifreeze concentrate. My heart pounded, but I kept my voice steady. Why would she have that? That's what I want to know. He paused. The police are treating this as a potential crime. They want to talk to you about what happened today. All right. Mom, I need you to tell me the truth. Did you see Amanda put something in your tea? I saw her move my cup while my back was turned. Just slightly. I didn't think much of it at the time. But you switched the cups. Yes. Why? Because Sadie almost died eating food off my plate at Amanda's house. Because she knocked a glass of lemonade out of my hand at a second dinner. Because I finally understood what was happening. Danny's breath caught. She tried to kill you. All those times, she tried to kill you. Yes. I heard something break in his voice, a sound like a sob caught in his throat. Danny. I didn't believe you. When you told me about seeing her with someone. When you said you were worried. I called you paranoid. I told you that you needed help. You didn't know. I should have known. I should have listened. He was crying now. She almost killed you, Mom. 3 times, and I defended her. You loved her. That's not a crime. It almost got you killed. We sat in silence, phone pressed to my ear, listening to my son cry. What happens now? I asked. I'm going to talk to her. When she wakes up, and then I'm calling a lawyer. I went to the hospital the next day, found Danny in the waiting room, eyes red, jaw tight. How is she? Awake. The doctors say she'll recover fully. He looked at me. I talked to her mom, she denied it at first. Said it was all a misunderstanding. But I told her about the bottle in her purse, about Sadie, about the pattern. What did she say? She stopped talking, just stared at me. He stood up, started pacing. I told her I know about Kyle. I blinked. You know about Kyle? I found text messages on her phone while she was unconscious. Between her and her ex-husband, planning to take your inheritance after you died. Planning to divorce me and leave the country. Danny, I'm sorry. Don't be, you tried to tell me. He stopped pacing, looked at me. I gave her a choice. Divorce me quietly, sign away any claim to community property and leave town. Or I go to the police with everything. The texts, the poison in her purse, the vet records from Sadie, witness testimony from you. What did she choose? She's signing the papers tomorrow, her lawyer's coming in the morning. By the end of the week she'll be gone. Just like that. Just like that. He sat down next to me, put his head in his hands. I can't believe I married her. I can't believe I let her into our lives. I put my arm around him. She fooled a lot of people. Not Sadie. No, not Sadie. 6 weeks later, Danny moved into my spare bedroom. Temporarily, he said, until he figured things out. But I didn't mind, the house felt right with him in it. Amanda had left town 3 days after signing the divorce papers. No forwarding address. Danny heard through mutual friends that she'd gone to California. With Kyle, probably. But he didn't ask and didn't care. One morning in early December, I woke up to the smell of coffee and bacon. I came downstairs in my robe. Danny was at the stove, spatula in hand. Sadie was lying by his feet, tail thumping. Morning, Mom. Hungry? Starving. We sat at the kitchen table, sun coming through the window, Sadie between our chairs hoping for scraps. Danny looked down at her, scratched behind her ears. Sadie never liked her, he said. From the very first day. Remember, at that dinner, she wouldn't come near Amanda. I remember. I should have listened. Dogs know. I smiled, reached down and ran my hand over Sadie's head. Her tail thumped harder. Dogs know, I said. We finished breakfast in comfortable silence. Danny poured more coffee. Talked about maybe looking at apartments next month but not really meaning it. Sadie dozed in the sun. The 3 of us, safe, together. That was all that mattered. So, that's my story. I'd love to hear what you think. Did Danny do the right thing by letting Amanda go, or should she have faced jail time? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more stories like mine.